it just seems like their bedtime keeps pushing back quickly.
All good.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully you guys had a good day. At in the morning session, I was struggling a little bit. I was positive, then I went negative, then I had a really good positive, and I ended okay positive today. But it was a frustrating day in the beginning. At least it was for me and the way it traded. Just when they looked like they were going to gain some traction here, when the B period broke, they were not able to. And when they have a B period that encompasses A period like this, what does it tell you? So think about it. All that means is that you have a what candle? In terms of price action, what is it?
It's fair value.
But basically, it's an engulfing candle, and that's what they're telling you, that the range of B ate the range of A, meaning it's much larger than A. So it encompasses the whole range. When you have when you have a session like this, and let's say you break the B with a really firm C break right here, then you break the C low with D. Now you have lower highs and lower lows, right? It was difficult to know where to get in short, even though it did not look like a great short. I was expecting bounce where it could have bounced, but they just kept pushing it a little bit lower and eating those stop losses basically for dinner. And then at one point I was like, okay, well, till they come all the way down till 5,000 and I see some absorption, I'll wait. And then I grabbed literally, maybe luck this time, but at the bottom of this, I was able to grab two SPX calls. I sold one almost 200%, and it went to go 2,000% for the day. So it would have been a nice play to hold it all the way, but some of those you're just not going to catch, especially after I had a frustrating day. Emotions kick in, and then you take shortcuts, right? We're all humans, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm done trading. I didn't even want to touch the afternoon session, to be honest. So that was my day in terms of the trading. But I would say again, and I talked about this yesterday, like following your plan. At first, when I saw the price action that they are not able to create this, the easy way was to short this and forget about it all the way till bottom. And you would have netted 30 points, right? And that was the plan. I just did not stick to it. I had the intuition that they wanted to bounce it before the opening inside the range. And all those little things that shouldn't matter, they matter to me today. And then I kind of stepped away for a little bit and I was able to drive some of this and recover, traded NQ in accordance with DS as well. But came out green, but it was probably one of the more frustrating days for myself. So if you felt frustrated, I think you have the right to be, based on the price action that they gave early in the morning. Okay. So tomorrow, I mean, when you look at it in terms of big levels, what we needed to achieve, what we talked about the night before, I would say we pretty much did. Is any disagreement there?
No, looks like a giant SR flip though.
Well, it does, and that's our previous week value area low. In our session, we said we really need to break above 50.40, which is our previous week value area low, like this zone, and we have to hold it. Well, we went above it, and we're holding it. And when you think about the open and close, how this opened and closed, we are higher. We closed higher than where we opened, right? We opened here, we closed higher, and we negated this. If we would have closed above this PDH, that would have been ideal, right? Because that would mean that you kind of stopped the framing and you closed above the previous day, right? They cracked it, but they didn't close above it. So tomorrow they get to get another opportunity. Just they got to push it a little bit more. Is there anything interesting on today's profile? And maybe before I even show these profiles, could anyone feel without like actually looking at the profile that it was a B-shaped profile? If I was
That's
to
the
ask,
single trade, right?
well, yeah, but if you don't know, if you just looked at this, could you know that this is a double distribution day?
No.
I would
No.
think it was just because you've got more volume up
Yeah,
top
lower
and volume
distribution.
below. But
Yeah.
assuming the volume's there,
Well, let's talk about time. Is this the same amount of time here versus here?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just an S, right? When you think about it, just a turned S. An S has a symmetry, doesn't it? If you cut it, you can have two
Mhm.
same pieces. This looks identical, guys, just flipped, right? And if you think about it, even if you draw, I would expect that this is a, not as potentially clean as, profile here, but I would say it still looks more B here, maybe even lowercase b in this case. But on time, definitely it's, I would say, double. And another way you would know that is by looking at somebody mentioned it before. Is there anyone else besides the person that talked about it that sees it?
The single prints, you got it.
Yeah, so you have single prints separating what zone? It doesn't get easier than this, guys, to
Yeah.
trade this tomorrow.
The upper and lower zone.
And also happens to be previous week value area zone that we had, and it matches to the split here. If you can crack the price below this, you're not looking for longs here. You want to drive this all the way to this yellow zone. And I'm pretty sure if we crack this, we're going to tap this. Because you're not finding any buyers. You tried to bounce here, you didn't find buyers. You went above, made higher high. You changed the character, but you didn't close above it. So you showed some weakness here at the end of the day, right? We expected this zone. I don't know if you guys remember. Remember the 63 zone we talked about, 50, 63, a little bit. It was the framing down. There was a lot levels that were associated here. I believe even March, there was a March level that was associated with 63 as well, if I remember. Either way, pretty big level, right? So if they can't stay above this now for the month, that would mean that we're flipping the framing on the monthly. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So we have a few days left, and if we don't close above this, that's not very bullish. So on higher time frames, they would be telling us a change is happening. Okay, so tomorrow, when I zoom in a little bit here, you guys will be able to see it. There's a pretty good zone here, right? That's being watched. I'll leave it this color then. And this would be your, basically your break, right? This PD value area high is probably needs to be shifted, right? We'll shift that. But now this is the zone that you care about, right? So you can maybe remove this zone here. This is the zone that you're after. So if they accept the prices below this, it's a clear distribution, right? We're rejecting the top. We're going to trade most likely to the opposite bottom. So you're targeting this, I would say this zone here first, and then you have right below all the way 92 and less, because there's a little bit of excess here. It's fairly easy plan. Right? If you see any weakness, and I don't even know where we are, ETH, I doubt they would break this right now. Yeah, I think they're gonna push this.
And they
Between
perfectly tested all the way through it
no,
on
this
that
just
spike, and it just rejected. Yeah.
no, this is a good long overnight, at least I would think. Let me look at the footprints. There's a little bit of overhead, so they might eat people, up here. But you see the ask here overnight. You have 34. For this time of the night, this might be somebody's being pretty stubborn at that level right here. Let's see what they do. They can eat them up or not. But either way, that zone is going to be your level that you trade, right? If you crack below and, the volume pumps a little bit higher, the increases, and you stay below, you're looking for short opportunities, not long. Above here, you're looking for long. As long as this holds, this is a pretty good RR to take from here for longer. Because if they have to finish the business here, if they have to come back, then, that's pretty good, right? 30 something points. Okay, any questions? Does it sound like an easy daily plan for everyone to follow?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All
Could
right,
you
well,
show NQ real quick?
yeah, of course.
Because that looks like it has a little
That
bit,
is NQ.
a little different situation.
Man, she thought that was NQ the whole time.
No. The other chart, the footprints was.
Oh, the footprint, yeah.
Yeah, they look the same though.
I have a question about this one here.
Let me just take a look at it. Well, it didn't like January value area high. Not much. Did anyone short PV value area low today on NQ? Does anyone remember what I said at this when they arrived on NQ today? Does anyone recall? Did you guys see the message I sent?
Yeah, about breaking the ideal.
No, at the PV value area low.
Oh,
Let me see if I can bring it up here. NQ is at PV value low. Anyone tries short NQ here? We never reached previous value low on NQ. We did on ES and got rejected twice. So if ES is leading the charge and NQ is just coming up to this level, what would you expect to happen?
Reject.
And did it reject? It was a pretty good rejection here, right? It dropped almost 100 points from there, so all the way to IBH now. And I don't even know where they're at. So yeah, they fell a little bit more than they needed to. A little bit too much. All right, well, let me switch to RTH and you ask away.
So my question here was, this is a nested, this is a, we have the value area inside the other value area.
Yep, it's a overlap, full overlap, babe. Yeah.
Yeah, on both sides. So from what I read, this should signal typically a break outside of this range to potential trend move.
That's
the
correct.
next day.
Always. That's why I say when I saw an outside week, remember we had an outside week a few times? I'll bring up PS because I can find it quicker than in Q.
ES is not the same. It doesn't have this same setup. It's not.
No.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a scenario. What's this candle here?
It's a engulfing candle.
engulfing.
Right.
It's an outside week.
Yeah.
It's the body's above the body, the body's above the body, the wick above the wick. So people call engulfing, this is an outside week, right? Inside week would be, you're trading smaller range than the prior day. When you're trading outside week, and we also had it one more week somewhere, I forgot, where I said that we really need to crack a different level. I think it was this actually here, where I said we really need to crack this level instead of this one to be bearish. And remember, we got that crazy bounce and then we cracked. So these outside weeks, outside days, you have to pay attention to. The break, the high of it or the low of it usually does trigger a trend. But do you know, if you think about confidence, why is that? The confidence of a candle, does it have a strong confidence? When you have an outside day, just like you showed me on NQ, is that a confident day?
No.
Why not? Bean, why not?
An outside day, because this is an inside day I'm referring to.
Yeah, okay. Well, same thing. It's gonna compress, but you can play the.
It hasn't decided which way it wants to go. It's not going down all the way. So the buyers are stepping in early, and the sellers are stepping in early. So it's almost as the battle, either people aren't coming to play, or if there was a high volume, you have almost an indecision situation. So it's going to break one way or the other when a decision is made.
That's correct. So you nailed it. So the confidence of buyers and sellers is just not there. If you were confident, you should be above previous day high. If you wanted something so bad, more so than the previous day, you would have paid more.
So should I expect, is it reasonable to expect that we will break Friday's high or low tomorrow?
I'm not sure. Lately, it's been all about binary stuff, right? When I say that, I don't mean to deflect your question, but if there's a binary event tomorrow, odds of it breaking high. right? And that's all I'm saying. And right now, if you look at this, right? So what is this? This is Wednesday. Great. The profile just looks very weird for since like last week. I don't, does it not look a little odd? I don't know, maybe it's just me.
I literally have a line that connects to the top, except today it finally broke, dating back all the way to April 15th, Monday.
Yeah.
You can touch the tops of all these on down, it's trending, and today is the first time it actually broke above with that little bit, and it almost looks like it's back testing it from the top.
Yeah. It just looks like a very illiquid profile. Like there's not a lot of volume.
Yeah, it's a sell-off.
No, I know, but it just doesn't look healthy. Somehow it just looks weird. So if we are able to reclaim, I guess, this level here, there is some skinny belly here. We could potentially, it's just that it has like 1, 2, 3, 4 distributions here. If this was a clean B, that would be much easier to trade, in my opinion, right? You wouldn't have to deal with this node where they were happy trading, right? I would say they like trading in here. So if I get in here, I have to start closing here. What if they're really, serious about not wanting to trade here anymore? Then most likely they're going to break this low. I don't know about how much meat we have here, but as long as we can build value, I would rather them do this and peak here and continue here and then explode than, fly through here and then, meet the supply from here. Because if these guys were serious at one point, well, this was, okay, we're ready to move. So I would expect to see a rejection in this zone. But, what is this points wise? So 434, I mean, that's 100 points. It looks like nothing, but yeah. I would take this if I was to look at a volume profile in this area. When you zoom in, I'll zoom in a little bit on the I just don't like how long it takes to get it.
The interesting thing is if you look at the IB of Friday and Monday, they're on top of each other.
Oh yeah, clear shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the value, right? Value area low, this was, like you said, it's encompassing. So you really got to go off of this, right? Can you build above the 2-day value, right? And if you can, and you find new buyers and they're building value, let's say in between here, that's a powerful combo, right? So it might look to some people that they're consolidating maybe for distribution, but that would mean that you're shifting above 2-day value, right? And accepting prices higher. And it might, I don't know, some people might see it somehow bearish, right? Maybe somehow bullish, but that would be really, really good for the bulls. You move, let the time catch up after this, nasty run up today. Let the volume, let the time, spend some time, spend some volume, and then, pocket higher. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get some good news from the market or presidents. But I'm trying to zoom in a little bit just to see where's the
But
single
ES
price.
is going to be easier to play probably then.
I like ES setup a lot. It's clear to me that the 36, 30, whatever 4 zone was, doesn't get much easier than that, honestly.
Yeah.
This one here, man, there are some serious points here. What period was that?
Was that G period?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what period it was.
Because I got extension on both of these on the top and the bottom today.
It has to be somewhere here, I would think, right?
The equivalence of that node.
Yeah. So it's not clear, right? It's only 2 TPOs. You have a lot of splits, right?
Yeah.
So you have value area high, but that's where they bounced, A and H. Yeah.
Well, they cleaned it up later in the day, but you did have big gaps for a while on the. See what
I mean,
period
here
that
you have
was.
a pretty large, 2 I don't know. I can't put more value on this one than the other ones.
Yeah, the HI period, the I period really ran up and created a big gap, but then the M period cleaned it all up and made it 2.
Yeah, H, the broken, really important level here. H is a big breaker here, right? If I was to play any retests, it would be, I would say right here.
On
This
the
would
top
be,
of A.
yeah,
Okay.
like right here. This is the level I would watch.
All right.
Is there a chance that there can, kill some people early from here? Right? Yeah, of course. I mean, they could give you a nice little bounce and then slice all the way here, because that's what they have to hold. You're breaking I'm sorry, IB here. You're breaking the IB, but you're not. Let's see, where are they? And they're below it.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're below it. Yeah, that's not good. So then the next level you're watching to see in between here is the IB 50. Right, that's normal behavior, half the discount. Let's see what they do. And yeah, POC is right in the middle. It looks like a
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
looks like a D shape almost.
Below the IBH, or the value high, I should say, they could retest the bottom of that. It's like
Oh,
there's
here.
time
Oh,
to
yeah.
it.
This
Yeah.
or the bottom, the value area high. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'm saying it broke down over the value area high, could retest that and take it long overnight, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. I mean, ES somehow seems to be quite a bit
Better.
stronger than NQ in my opinion. And maybe there's a heavy rotation that happens, right? Where they start buying some value stocks versus tech stocks.
But yeah, I think Dow's been doing better than both of them.
Yeah,
And moving up.
which totally makes sense to me, honestly. If
Yeah.
there's going to be any recession and stuff, I think the value basket changes a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, to me, this was a hard call because is that a B profile?
That is just it's like a triple distribution
Yeah.
profile.
And in
Yeah,
that situation, are we looking at the node directly above the value area as expecting a hit and rejection?
yeah, I
Or
would say,
the
yeah,
second
yeah.
node?
Well, they're equally weighted
Yeah.
in terms of volume, right? So the only way I would play this is the retest of getting inside the zone. That would be your safest bet to go long on these, right? At least that's how I would play it. If they
Okay.
peak above and you go long, right? That's good if it works out. And let's say they peak above, but they don't go far and you see them struggling.
Yeah.
Well, that might be a short. When I say peak above, it's not like a 1 minute candle, boom, go. Here they might push up to the top and then give you a retest and that becomes better.
Right. Right.
Give it an opportunity to change some, in case of break of structure. Let's say I'm on 30 minutes. Right. So you have a wick here that's basically telling you you have to go above me. Right here. Right. So not sure why is this line not showing up. All right. So this line here is telling you, right? If you can crack above me, most likely you go to this one extreme here. So let's say they peak above this a little bit and then quick rejection down. What does that tell you? That means there's a lot of excess inventory here, right? If there's a lot of inventory at the level, what are they going to do with inventory?
Basically just dumping it on.
They're selling it, right? They want to get rid of it. If there's not a lot of inventory, but there's a lot of buyers coming in, right? Their buyers are telling you we're slowing down. They're telling you we accepted this price here, this value, unless they crack the zone that we were talking about, which became then 2-day balance breakout. We're watching to see if they can hold this. Let's say where they got to reclaim this PD value area high. They should hopefully do it overnight and just open above this node, and that would be pretty bullish in my books. You know,
It's
if
right
you can.
on it right now.
Oh, it's right here at 359.
It's literally right on it.
Oh, at the PD
value very high. Yeah.
PD value. Yeah. So now it's a big level, right? Are they going to regain it here? And then I guess when you go on 10 minutes here, do you see what level that happens to be here on 10 minutes POC node here? So, and there's a little rejection. So now you want them to peak above this, right? Go up to here and then come back from 327. And then it's most likely going to reject here, dance dip, and then do some, well, my drawing's horrible, but something like that.
Got the picture. Yeah.
Yeah. When you decrease the time, you have, I guess, more points of interest to draw. So you can draw easily. It's not like a free format, I guess. So now you can draw all you want. That's when I get excited here. Look. Okay.
All right.
So I will definitely watch this PDM. Here goes. You see what they just did?
Yeah, we're up over it already.
Do I need the drawings back? Here they go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you want to see.
ES looks a little cleaner, I guess.
So that's why. I mean, lately I feel like I have been much better trader on ES than I have been on NQ personally. And here comes a rejection. I would expect them to go to this level right here. Like right now. They should hit 327 and from here peak above a little bit and then they're gonna go down hopefully. And might be a good overnight long, like you said. Might join you there.
Still forming POCs right about there too.
So I'll definitely consider this, yep. I think the buy zone might be a little bit higher though. Maybe 322 instead of 321. But yeah, as long as we're, I would say, above this level here, it's a swing call, right? And I guess all of my SPX calls today that I played, I did have one swing. I took a loss on that one for like $200, but all the other ones, man, they exploded. I haven't seen that in a while where SPX calls go that crazy. Yeah, that's the whole area that they have to chew through right now. So let's see if they pop here now, 341, and go from there. All right, guys. Well, I'll write it up as well, just in case people can't join, and maybe write down your plan, maybe on a notepad or a sticky note, and just put it in front of the screen. Put the levels you want to be bull above, put the levels you want to be bear below, and stick to them. All right, and your entries based on the extremes that you have.
Thank you, Shorty.
Have a good one.
Okay, I love you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night.